Well, definitely. But I think it depends on which group of people you are talking about. Mention the elderly, the the kinds of this kind of food are not easily accepted because the older generation often prefer the kind of food which can ensure the quality. And besides, there is a lot of information on the internet reports how harmful fast foods can be. So as a more careful generation, they often stay alert, and they are the reason why fast foods are not are not a good choice. Is isn't a good choice in the elderly opinions, but if you mention the younger generation, they often prefer fast foods, which can save their money and time, because nowadays students or the younger generation often have to study and work very hard to compete with the to compete with others and meet their parents' expectation. So they often prefer fast food, and sometimes they just care about the delicious taste, and they don't really care about the quality of the food they could eat every day.
That was a well structured answer with some clear contrasts. For this response, I'd estimate a band score of 6.5. In terms of fluency, you managed to develop your ideas logically by comparing different age groups, though there were a few hesitations and repetitions. For vocabulary, using stay alert and compete with others is effective, but you could elevate it with words like health conscious or academic pressure. Grammatically, you used mention to the elderly, which should be when it comes to the elderly, and said this kind of, which should be this kind of. A corrected natural version of your answer would be, yes, but I think it depends on the group of people you're talking about. When it comes to the elderly, this kind of food is not easily accepted because the older generation often prefers food that guarantees quality, and they are often aware of how harmful it can be. Conversely, younger people frequently choose fast food to save money and time because they are under pressure to study and work hard. Now for the next question. Arca
Yes, definitely. But I think it depends on which group of people you are talking about. For the younger generation, cafes are ideal places for them to meet their friends or study or work quietly, and it also provide them a peaceful atmosphere so they can enjoy their delicious drinks or study and work harder. But for the older generation, they often prefer stay at home because, in their opinion, uh, drinking at cafes, drinks at cafes can cost a lot, and they and with their habits of saving, they don't really prefer these kinds of places.
That was another well reasoned answer that shows good structure. For this response, I'd estimate a band score of 6.0. Your fluency was quite good, though the structure was very similar to your previous answer. For vocabulary, using peaceful atmosphere is nice, but you could improve by using words like ambience or sociable hub. Grammatically, you said cafes is, which should be cafes are, and can cause a lot, which should be can cost a lot. A corrected version would be yes, absolutely. For younger people, cafes are popular spots to meet friends or find a quiet and peaceful ambience to study. Now for the next question. What apps are popular among students in your school?
Well, um, I could say that it depends on the generation you mentioned too. In the past, the in the past, apps are popular among students in my school. Uh, YouTube, YouTube or other streaming apps application which can help them enjoy videos. But nowadays, thanks to the development of many convenient means of entertainment, they are often preferred video games because nowadays students are under too much pressure to study hard and practice more to meet their parents' expectation. So they often prefer other means of entertainment like video games, which can help them, which can help them escape from the hustle and pressure of the life. Um, and in my opinion, in the future, it's expected that many social media applications would be more and more popular because nowadays um, student prefers online touch than meet their friends in person.
That was a very detailed answer that thoughtfully compares how things have changed over time. For this response, I would estimate a band score of 6.5. Your fluency is good and you use some excellent phrases like hustle and bustle. To improve, focus on using more precise grammar and avoiding repetition. Grammatically, you said apps is popular, which should be plural, and they are often preferred, which should be an active verb. A corrected version would be, well, it really depends on the time period you're looking at. In the past, video streaming apps like YouTube were the main choice, but now, due to the pressure to perform academically, many students prefer video games as a way to relieve stress. Now for the next question. What places are popular for weekends in your city?
Well, uh, I think it depends on which group of people you are talking about. If you mention to the younger generation, they are often prefer stay. Uh, they often prefers to stay at many malls or shopping center to meet their friends and to meet their friends and have fun with their family, which can help them tighten their relationship much more effectively. But for the older generation, they prefer staying at home and staying at home or go to the market and buy something and buy ingredients uh, and buy ingredients then make a delicious meals to have a meaningful family gathering with with people with the people with who they really love.
That was a very detailed answer that paints a clear picture of different weekend activities. For this response, I would estimate a band score of 6.0. You showed good fluency, though using the same contrast approach is becoming a bit repetitive. To improve, try varying your sentence structures and vocabulary. Grammatically, you said mention to the younger generation, which should be mention the younger generation, and often prefer stay, which should be often prefer to stay. A corrected version would be, well, that depends on the age group you're looking at. Younger people might enjoy visiting shopping malls to socialize, while the older generation often prefers to stay home and prepare a traditional meal for family gatherings. Now for the next question. What hobbies are popular among students in your country?
Well, it depends on a group of people you are talking about. For for the wealthier students, they often have much more expensive hobbies like collecting things or reading books because uh, with because with this means of entertainment, they can show off their wealth so they can assert their person in society. And besides, uh, the egos in among the younger generation, the egos is sometimes the can become the main priority in their life. But for the poor students, they often prefer playing video game or watching television because they just have low allowance, which allows them to access cheaper means of entertainment. But with these mm, with these ways of relaxation, they can make new friends, and and they can also escape from the hustle of life.
Thank you for sharing those interesting insights about different hobbies based on financial background. For this response, I'd estimate a band score of 6.0. Your fluency is good, but there were a few grammatical errors and some unclear word choices, such as eagles for ego and lotion for financial resources. Grammatically, you said wealthier students are often have, which should be wealthier students often have, and cheaper means, which should be accessible options. A corrected version would be, well, the hobbies popular among students in my country often depend on their background. Wealthier students might prefer expensive pursuits like collecting valuable items or reading, which can be seen as a way to display social status. On the other hand, students with limited budgets usually opt for more budget-friendly activities such as gaming or watching videos to relax and socialize. Now for the next question. What TV shows are popular with young people in your country?
Stop interview.
Understood. This brings us to the end of our IELTS Speaking Part 1 practice session. Thank you for your participation, and I wish you the best of luck with your continued English studies.